Hello, family, and welcome to another episode of Role Model Experts Cafe. I'm your host, Dr. L, the Parent Whisperer, and today with me, I have an amazing lady, Miss Ana Lennyr. Did I say that correctly, Ana?
Yes, Dr.
Awesome.
L.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. I know that's what you share with audience members is a really important thing. I've had an opportunity to have you in our meetings and the networkings, and I think you're great. You're doing some amazing work. So I decided to invite you to this, and thank you, audience members, for tuning in. Ana, can you tell our audience members a little bit more about what you do and how you got involved in doing what you do, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so what we do is we prevent and overcome heartbreak, anxiety, and depression for teenagers and adults. So this is what we do in our company. We have two separate parts of a company. One of them is for prevention of these things to never happen to anybody, because that has repercussions in relationships, has repercussions in career, has repercussions in health, right? And the other side is to overcome these conditions if it happens that they already hit you.
And how did you get involved in all of this?
Yeah, so I'm an antidepressant expert because I have, number one, suffered for 27 years in depression. I was suicidal at the age of 19. My mom died without living one day happy in her life. And I looked for knowledge for all my life to see how I can escape. And around the age of 38, when I was at the lowest moment of my life, diagnosed with a disease that could kill me in one day, I hired 4 mentors for that knowledge. And today I combine the knowledge of these 4 mentors into my programs, and I help people get out of a hell of depression.
So I actually wanted to bring us back to this. You said you got diagnosed at 19, which means this was going on even before then. And
Yes.
when you got introduced to your mentors, that was 38. So you went a good 20 years dealing with this symptoms and the
about 27 years dealing as a child, as a young adult, 19 suicidal, as an adult, and I almost put my child in depression too. Wow. As a parent. So now, I reversed engineer the formula to make sure that, if a child slips in depression, we can turn it around. If a child is in depression, is a little bit more work to turn around because they don't trust the parent, right? So I reversed engineer the formula for each category of people that need help.
Right. This is really critical because many times people with mental health issues, they go on, they're alone, and they don't know where and who to reach out to. And you would think that, oh, well, there's hotlines and this and that, but the kind of help that people need is more than that. Sometimes that's all you need just so that, you can stay off of the suicide thoughts, right?
But that's not only the idea to stay off of suicide or from depression. The idea is, how do you find your true potential, which you already know you have it? How do you become successful? How do you avoid illnesses, which are linked to all kind of stress, emotional and mental stress? So the idea is not only to overcome depression, that takes between 3 to 7 months. It's how to stay out of it forever. So this is the programs that I design.
Now you're speaking my language, because at Role Model Maker, we're always talking about optimizing human potential. And if you're just trying to struggle to be symptom free, that's no way to be at the peak of your performance and what you have to offer to humanity. So thank you for doing what you do. So in dealing with this, what have you discovered to be the typical challenges that people come to you are facing, other than the actual symptoms of depression or anxiety?
The typical challenges, I would think they all believe it's anxiety and depression are some kind of mental illnesses, and they're incurable and unfixable, because everybody tells them that, I don't know how to fix you, so there's something wrong with you, so you're not fixable, right? And I treat these conditions as emotional woundings. And once you treat them as emotional woundings, as not as mental illness, people realize that it's okay to be wounded. It's okay to be hurt emotionally, right? But because they consider it's a mental illness, they shut down because they don't want to admit to themselves there's something wrong with them, which is not anything wrong with them, except that they're really hurt. So the first challenge that I saw in the society is, yes, this mental illness, level.
Well, that's a huge mindset shift, because I could imagine if somebody has been struggling for years, that becomes part of their identity. They might even be reluctant to give that identity up, because it's scary to be anything other than that. Well, who would you be without it, right? So that would be
Exactly.
another challenge if you try to move forward.
And
All right.
then you become addicted to pain.
Right, exactly, exactly. And pain is an addiction for some people, for our audience members. It's something that actually you can be addicted to. You might think, like, why would you be? But like you said, it can become part of your identity. And I see that. I saw that in private practice when we had fibromyalgia patients, very similar in the sense that, they're doing that. And many times they were also struggling with depression, anxiety.
No,
Because of,
always 100%, because I had fibromyalgia since the age of 12,
see,
all the way to the age of 38. It's linked to the fact that you don't believe you can support yourself in life.
right. So you're a victim to your own life.
Yes, yes. I dealt with that for a long time.
Got it. All right. So if somebody's watching this and they know people that are struggling with this, or they're just struggling with it themselves, what would you say would be like a first step, or the first kind of a thing? I mean, the mindset shift that you just mentioned, that's huge right then and there. But what are some of the tips that you have for audience members so they can start taking action to take back their life and take control?
So to take control of your life, you need to acknowledge that if you are in any kind of suffering, you only know how to play the game of suffering. You don't know how to play the game of life. They're two different games. And just acknowledging that, it makes you make the decision, am I going to play the game of life and relearn everything I ever knew, or I'm just going to keep playing the game of suffering? That would be the first step.
Powerful. I'm assuming that when people, and this is one of those things where when people decide to make a change in their life, naturally they have to give up and lose some of the stuff that they have been living with. And change is difficult. And one of the things that I've heard is when it comes to things like depression, people don't like to take action. It's difficult for them to take action. So how
A
do
lot
you,
of times they don't want to take action, Dr. because they saw that the previous action, like meds and therapy, doesn't work anyway, right? So
right,
they see that these things don't work, and they're like, why would I complicate myself?
right. Wow.
But now we have strategies and skills that work. We have programs that work.
Right.
So as more and more people we succeed to get out, more, it's going to empower them that, okay, you don't have to suffer anymore.
So acknowledgement, first step. All right. So now I have acknowledged it, I've accepted it. What would be the next step?
The next step would be to relearn everything about life. Look at things from a different perspective. We have a specific program for that, where we teach people relationship skills, emotional skills, and mindset traps, so they won't fall into it anymore. These will be the skills that will prevent depression forever later on in life. You can always come back to them as a refresher of, when you feel you have some kind of challenges.
And this is the second time you mentioned prevention, because for most people, it happens to them and then they want a way out. But you're talking about something that how not to have this in the first place, especially in the case of a kid, to being able to spot this early on and make sure that you course correct so that the child doesn't suffer in the process.
Exactly, because the children don't even know why they're suffering. And a lot of times they're slipping into it without realizing. And no parent wants that. No parent wants to give their depression to the child.
Right, exactly. So how can parents spot this or take action on this for their children?
So it's very easy to spot it in a sad smile of your child and not a happy smile. So it's very easy to spot if you are honest with yourself in the family, of course, right? A lot of times because you're sad, you don't even notice it, right? And then the next step, I would suggest joining our academy at truthsecretsoflife.com, where I can give for each person individualized systematic and accelerated techniques. So this won't happen to you or your kid anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask because I know this is a huge field and there's so many different triggers. So how can people find out more aside from the website? What's the process like, and what are some of the things that you guys help with?
So we have radio show nationwide. We have TV show nationwide. You can find us in all kind of platforms. And we also have an academy on our website opened every 2 weeks. You will have a Zoom call directly with me to ask questions. So we can direct you to the right venue, because some people might be just a little bit depressed. Some people might just be heartbroken. Some people might have anxiety. Other ones might have generational depression like I did and needs more extensive work.
Right. Okay. Very powerful. So I'm going to make sure that I put the website, first of all, in the description box, guys. It is very important for us to role model the behavior, teach our kids that we don't have all the answers and we don't have to do all the lifting ourselves, that it is important for every human being to connect to society, connect to support. And I encourage you guys to go ahead and check out the website that Ana has provided for you guys. This is a very powerful tool. And I know that these kind of symptoms related to mental health are becoming more prevalent in society to the point where it's almost the norm. And it's sad to say that, but it doesn't have to be that way. Changing that paradigm and realizing that our body is designed to be healthy, is designed to fulfill our potential and support us in achieving our goals. So please make sure that you connect with Ana. Not just for yourself or somebody that you know, but also to learn more, so that when you come across people who are suffering from this, oftentimes they don't reach out. At least you can lend a helping hand and make the suggestion that maybe they should ask for some more support. And this would be a great way to do that. Ana, I really appreciate you being here and sharing of this. I know you're really busy. Any final words for our audience members before we finish?
You don't have to suffer anymore. Anybody that you see in suffering, they don't have to. You might not have a skills and strategies to help them directly, but you can direct them to a website. TrueSecretsOfLife.com would be that website where they can decide to get out or not.
Absolutely. Guys, don't forget, check it out. If you haven't already done so, make sure you click subscribe so you get notified of the latest experts that come here, sharing their expertise and their gifts. And we look forward to seeing you guys on future episodes. Thank you, Ana, and I'll see you around.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Dr. Thank you.